moving on to leg attack week. What's up, bro? Yeah, sorry we didn't get the hot tub for this week, Josh.
Yeah, we're still, you can support us at coffee.com
Yeah.
/ProVJJ.
Yeah, I mean, you sent me that deeply discounted one on from Costco, so maybe just be the change you want to see in the world and buy it for us.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get on to our Monday footage. Better see some leg attacking. Mitchell and Jordan getting after it to start. A little slow going. Warming up the engines here. Some hand fighting. There we go. All right, let's fast forward. All right, something's happening here. Foot sweep on Cooper. Good to have Cooper back. I'm sure he'll jump in the chat at some point today. Back from his prolonged illness. Cole, you better be careful, bud. Chris and Jason
making quick work on the back. See how.
Yeah. Quick go behind, yeah. No hand block, but Mitchell didn't reach up to stop him. A pretty simple turtle breakdown, just sagging heavy over the strangle shoulder.
Mitchell's already trying to get his hips out. Coming out the left side. It looks like he's almost clear here. Jordan's doing a good job of trying to realign. Going double strangle.
Yeah.
See how Mitchell handles that.
And Mitchell's got his bottom leg out. He's over the hip.
Yep.
He's got to turn towards his left. There we go. Keep going. And he's out. Awesome.
Good exchange.
Meanwhile, I've been standing in the pocket here with Cooper, letting him attack my legs relentlessly, but just kind of peeling grips away and keeping my base. This is something I think like a lot of people could stand to practice. If you want to play around with like different passing positions, dealing with an opponent who is attacking your feet and trying to constantly get you off balance can be really really frustrating, and like there's no better way to kind of get your footing, work on your balance, and just standing in the pocket, stepping around the legs as they come in, practicing getting your V grips, throwing things by, setting up leg drags, all those sorts of little things just to frustrate your opponent, but also just practice keeping your balance.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it also gives you, like, you have to be very aware of where your knee line is, whether it's cleared or not, right? And whether you're in danger, heel exposure, all of that. So it really helps you put together the pieces that make up like the leg puzzle, right?
Yeah. Great switching from Cooper here.
Yeah.
So this was
very nice.
Yeah, he's put into work the move we did at class, which is just standard Irimiyashi sweep. Peeling the foot off. This was new. I passed off to the other hand. I'd never done that before, but whatever. And then right there, he decides to keep my other leg. And then start to set up the Irimi, going on a straight ankle here. I don't know if... Let's see. Did Chris and Jason... Who fell here? I think... Alright, Jason gets a little... Where's my pointer?
Head. He snaps him down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice.
A little turn out of that. That looked uncomfortable. So he didn't even have like the underhook. He pretty much just has a guillotine grip on him.
Yep. Steps on the inside just to get him stepping a little bit so he can drag him down.
Yeah. Josh and Pat up there in the corner. So Coop digging on a heel hook right now. Does not get it. Jason's standing all the way up, kindly letting Chris go back to the mat. This was something, I know I was talking about this with the twins the other day, or like last week, the week prior.
Huge honor for me.
When you, thank you, Jordan, thank you for the resub. When you go to do a standing guard break and you can't get your, you can't get to a standing upright posture, don't hesitate to just go back down to your knees and then, you know, try to shimmy your shoulders forward if they're doing like a high guard like Chris is right now, or, you know, get into the hand fight to get the collar ties off. Take your time with it. You know, if rules let you slam, then sure, go ahead. You're not going to do it in our training room, but don't feel like you've got to wear that weight from that standing position. Just go back to your knees, fight it off, and then go on the attempt of the standing guard break again. Good guard pass from Coop. Who's Steven training with? Is that Jordan? No,
Caleb.
Jordan's against the wall. Who?
Caleb,
Oh.
I believe is his name.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure if you stuck around.
Yeah, I think he trained 1 or 2 rounds, maybe. It was a good mount transition from Jordan on the far left.
This
He was
was
taking his time trying to clear that far arm. So Mitchell's arm, his left arm, is really high, and the reason is because Jordan, I want you to be careful with the way that you're doing this, Jordan. You're using your head to trap his arm, which I like what you're doing with his arm, but I think I'd like you to do it with your arms a little bit better, right? I'm sorry, I'd like to see you do it with your arms rather than your head, just because some people are gonna, especially like Baker and Cole come to mind, as they're gonna try and use that left arm to collapse your head down and then start taking you over, head over, basically. I like the concept. I like what you're trying to do. You're trying to get Mitchell's arm up above his head or his elbow above his shoulder line, so that way it makes room for your knee so you can go into a good mount transition. Just be careful of what you're using in order to get that arm isolated.
Josh with a little dummy sweep there. So he pulls, looking right here. There we go. Okay. So yeah.
Luke went over that in class 2, right? The Arimiyashi, basically, it's an Arimiyashi sweep.
So he's got both knees on the inside. That's the big
I thought he
difference.
had
Yeah.
the-
So I mean,
Okay, alright,
yeah,
cool.
this is really a double ankle sweep, but not being
Yep.
done from close guard, more from a double butterfly position, which is going to be harder to like that little bear trap with your legs isn't going to work quite as well on that. But before you think about that being a viable alternative, if it happens to you from your close guard situation, it's not too much. It would take too much time to get your legs there. What were you saying?
Jordan's doing a really good job isolating that arm. He wound up getting the smother tap on Mitchell, I believe.
Poor Mitchell. Oh. That
Or maybe
shoulder.
crushed his nose.
Pokes him in the eye, maybe. What'd you do to Mitchell, Jordan? Correct.
The lag in the chat is real. Jason is in on a leg here. He is fighting. This is kind of like. So can go back just a little bit. So Jason's doing a really good job. He goes up into this Arimiyashi. Chris is doing a fantastic job. He's doing one of my favorite things, which is he's using his left hand in order to block out the outside leg, the right leg in this case. And Jason is really struggling, right? He's trying to extend. He gets into this into the straight ankle grip, right, or into the Achilles grip. I love this. But one thing that we're not seeing is, or what we're seeing Chris do really well is he's keeping Jason on that right hip, right? And that's a great position for Jason if he's able to make his heel and his knee touch, right, and get into a strong Orimiyashi. But here Chris is not allowing his right leg to come in and make any sort of contact.
Yeah.
And so he's keeping him on that hip. What I would want to see Jason do is actually pull his knees closer to him to get Chris a little bit more off balance, and actually take Chris over Jason's left shoulder, and start to come out the backside, and even helping maybe with like a left arm armpit push, right? So taking Jason's left hand, putting it into the armpit, kind of like what he's going for here, and getting Chris turning to the left, or to Jason's left. But yeah, Chris is doing a fantastic job of just trying to stay heavy and pull his left leg out of danger here.
Yeah. Another thing to throw in here, if I think to your point where like Chris is blocking this leg from coming in, Jason is really focusing on getting that leg in place to an Orimi. But I think a good alternative is to bring it down and then switch into like an X guard or a reverse X guard. So bringing the shoelaces of this foot, the one that he can't get in place, to the inner thigh of this leg. And that way you'll get to an X guard where now, with Chris being so heavy over top of Jason, I think he can do exactly what you were saying. Like, well, not exactly what you were saying. Instead of coming out the back, then switching to cross Ashi, right? Like with that reverse X guard entrance. But all that will be important with getting like the shoulder push, getting Chris off balance, and all that stuff. Can't give this up either. Like, I don't think there's any good reason for him to let go of that Achilles grip through any of this. So
yeah, and another, all good points. One other thing to keep in mind, and kind of why the reason I really gravitate toward these leg entries, is that in order to have your leg entry, or even to get to a threatening position with an Orimiyashi, you have to have double inside position with your legs. So at any point in time, if you were to drop your right foot out of the equation here and bring it up through the middle, you're in a butterfly guard. It's a variation of a butterfly guard, right? But your knees are closer to your chest. You've got hooks to grab the thighs. So you can start looking for sweeps. You can also switch to the other leg, just like what we did in class when somebody's down, when you're down on your hips or they're down on their hip, in what we just saw you do with Cooper, and then Cooper switching legs. You can do that from standing as well. Mm-hmm. So those are also options to consider. It's tough in the heat of the moment if you're not familiar with the position, but fundamentally it's the same thing whether somebody's standing or sitting down on their hips.
Yeah. Pat and Josh, I don't think they've really done much on the mat this round. Pat and I have a round like that later. We just spend most of it standing trying to take each other down, which I thoroughly enjoy, as tiring as it is.
Oh yeah. That's right, Brandon and Caleb. There's a throw coming here straight off of right out the beginning.
Lovely. What's up, Blake?
Hey, Blake.
Yeah, Pat, it is. Right here. Woo. Nice. No Caleb Love hitting those.
Yep. straight off the overhook side, right? Yeah. Oh, that's right. And this is me and Pat.
What did I do? This was like a little outside
Arm
trip,
push. Yeah. Your leg
head
was
throw
up,
kind of
down.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what exactly you'd call that, but as far as judo goes. Nice
I
arm
was
drag.
I was not letting get on top on this one. Like the way I was feeling that night was not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Steven is watching the stream or not, but he was asking me after class what I do with the 2-on-1, right? Or how I use the 2-on-1 effectively. And this is a huge gripping strategy, right? So Pat comes in, he's doing all the right things. He's trying to put his hand on my knee and or hip, and then his right hand is also going to my far hip. So he's trying to go around and possibly Toriando or do something of the like. I'm going to exploit that, right? And I'm push that hand in, and I use it to set up an arm drag. So as he is trying to get his hand back across his body, I'm just setting up an arm drag straight from here, connecting to the far hip, and then heisting up as soon as I possibly can.
Yeah, that was really nice. Who's over there with Joe? Is that Jordan? Yeah.
Yep.
How did Cole get that sweep? Cole over the head.
Yeah, like a head and arm.
Has the elbow. Yeah.
Yeah. That's way. I would say that's a way more effective sweep for Cole than it is for me. Certainly, he seems to hit that a lot.
Yeah. So he's got the butterfly hook in, which is definitely a huge part of this. But yeah,
absolutely.
he gets your head far below your hips and is able to. I mean, this is essentially just like it's somewhere between a scissor sweep and a sumigaeshi hook sweep thing. But yeah, once he brings Josh's head close to his chest, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and
Josh
it's dangerous to
rotate.
plant.
Yeah.
Josh should not plant with his right hand there.
Yeah,
Like
Josh, you idiot.
He didn't, but
Yeah,
there's no
obviously,
reason.
Josh. Trying to work for my left hip to avoid easy passing on the right side.
Nice, clever.
Smart. Damn, dude, it's like you've been doing this a while.
How did I wind up passing, getting to side control? I do not remember.
Did it come off the sweep?
It
Off
did
that arm
not.
drag?
I was in half guard here.
So boom, arm drag. Working from half.
I was trying to get rid of that butterfly hook for the longest time. I just cannot remember how I got rid of it.
Oh, you passed it by. Like you kind of backed off a bit, got just enough outside of it, like it just crossed over your center line.
And
And
then
then
crushed
just,
it down.
yeah.
And then set. Okay, all right, cool.
Nothing too fancy, just
Nope.
effective pressure. How Cole finish that? Oh, just right to the arm triangle. Hips down.
I like
That's
that. Yeah. Good adjustment to get the finish.
Sorry, what? Oh, did Caleb? Looks like Caleb goes on. I don't know what that was.
He just
Exactly.
may have, yeah.
What was that?
I think he just may have been like, I don't want to be on bottom.
Yeah.
So but you can't really blame him for that.
Yeah,
I don't
Caleb
want
and
to
I
be on
haven't.
violent for Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He and I haven't gotten a full roll in a minute. I need to remember why I hate rolling with him. All right, Brandon. A little premature on the leg switch here. So, standing guard break. Good, great. I'm happy you're doing it. If you're going to fall back on these legs, that's fine. You just got to isolate one first. Your right leg needs to come, like your right knee needs to come up between his legs, and it doesn't here. You're falling back and essentially putting him in mount. You have no inside leg position right now. So just premature, you know, a mistake I'm sure you realized once you made it. Now you try to reap, but you're in a bad spot right now. And Caleb, it looks like Caleb's being pretty nice. There we go. That's what I want. So the right knee came up through, and now you can get to work. But obviously do that sooner. Since it's leg week, point this out. So here's me doing a triangle. What did I do? Mounted triangle. Wasn't working. I get rolled over. Another great option. You always hear us talking about, you know, triangles and arm bars being very closely related. Another close relation to that, to like the triangle and that dilemma of the triangle and the arm bar, is entrances to the legs. So notice Chris is stacking into me. His legs are close to me. So here I'm switching to the arm bar. It's not working. He manages to escape here. He sits to his butt. My legs are open. Everything with upper body's gone. But I can salvage this by making a quick change down to the legs. I've got a scoop grip on his left leg here. You see me invert my knee under and then immediately go into reverse ashi. I don't think I even got anything here. But when you guys lose your triangles, be quick on the transition down to the legs. It can completely, like, your momentum, your offensive momentum doesn't have to stop just because you lose the triangle. You can really catch them off guard going downstairs. And then be better than I am and don't get caught in a stand-up battle.
Yeah, that was a good little scramble.
Caleb drinks regular Coke. Caleb's not even here to defend himself, you guys.
That back defense was ridiculous. I could not get anything going.
Bro, I don't think I've strangled Pat in like a year.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't doubt it. I don't think I have either. And yeah, I remember for Monday, it was very, very frustrating. I felt like I had a very dominant, like, gripping exchange, and I still could not put anything together. He kept thwarting, like, everything that I was putting together, so a lot to work on.
Yeah, we need to work on a strategy for strangling Pat. Sorry,
Yeah.
Pat. So Josh is in cross-ashi here, but he doesn't have it locked up well enough. Cole's running interference with his second leg. Josh, as you get here, like, I think you can get this set up faster. Like, here, it's a sloppy entrance, but, like, right from here, I want, like, this leg just hangs out a little too long here. Like, I want that leg just shooting right through Cole's legs and getting into a triangle. Rather than just hanging out there. You can see Cole gets his hands on it and starts to make things difficult. That inside hook on this leg as well is going to prevent you from really setting something up at this point. So you could have gotten there a little faster. I think you would have been able to work.
You're in on cross-ashi here on Chris. That is a tight.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's look at this for a second, because this is a good example of something I've been working on that's finally coming together. So yeah, since we talked about cross ashi a second ago, this is perfect. I get to cross. I gather that second leg so that Chris can't really roll away, and now I'm on the usual approach of attack the second leg to either get the tap on it or get him to yank it away, and then I go on the attack on the leg I really care about, which is this one, the one that I have my legs wrapped up with. So here I'm using that cross side, the cross side grip we tried earlier in class. Moving to a leg lace. That's not working, so I decide to split the ankles. I hold here at the shin. I mean, really, I prefer to hold the knee, but whatever. Now I go on a roll, but I don't roll with my body straightened out, like with my my back straightened to the mat or along the mat. I put my head to the mat first, and I roll with my hips up high. Right? The whole point of this is to slowly roll. So let me rephrase that. The point is to slow down Chris's roll, as well as keep a bend in his leg so that he can't extract it, right? You guys know how when you really want to get out of a leg entanglement, oftentimes that roll that you initiate is all you need. You kind of just corkscrew yourself right out of it. If I can slow him down, which I'm doing with my head to the mat and with my leg hooked behind his leg, I can expose his heel here. I have all the time in the world to gather the heel as I need it, and he can't straighten his leg out, so he's not going to beat my knee line. So you can see his knee is bent this whole time. I find the heel very quickly, and as we roll back down, you can see just how much I'm controlling this leg and not letting him quickly roll through this. And now I set up my grip, and I could go to work and get the tap. So yeah, the big eureka moment for me was that not rolling over my shoulders, as we often do in outside ashigurami or like straight ashi positions. In cross ashi, I find it much more effective to roll over the head and get your hips up. That will slow them down and keep them from extracting the leg.
Yeah, it's a nice detail.
Yeah, it only took me like 8 years to learn that. I could have heel hooked you like 5 times by now if I knew that detail. Feel like Cole has his... Jesus, what's going on? Missing all the chat. Head across face well. I think Pat said you were cross-facing him miserably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't getting the reaction I wanted to from the crossface, so
Yeah.
I changed it up.
Cooper coming back with a vengeance. After all the smack talk in the chat. Where's Coop? You think he'd at least join tonight now that he's back on the stream? Is he even on?
I don't see him on.
Bro, he's been sick, alright? Lost a little weight. Don't make fun of light kings, man. Short kings, light kings. We're not all chubby like you. Oh, Steven about cracks my shin in half in this round.
It was a nice arm drag.
That was the only good thing I did this whole match. I felt happy with that.
I thought you heel hooked him.
Uh,
This night.
I know I tried. He countered me and got when Steven gets a straight ankle on me now, I don't wait for it to hurt at all because
Dude, it rips.
yeah,
no, I
he
know what you mean.
sends him good. So, and not even in a bad way. It's just like he finds the spot really well, and it's just like I'm not gonna try to boot out of this. So.
Yeah, me and Pat were watching. I thought,
I think we had a good leg exchange here in a minute.
Yeah.
But I did not win it.
okay. Yeah, it's coming right here. Going false read,
Yeah,
straight in.
shooting across Ashi. I felt great about it.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe it's later on.
Coop getting the pass.
Dude, it's always bulking season. Always.
Hell yeah, dog. I just don't put on any weight for some reason.
Oh shit! I did not. I
Yeah, let's see how he
didn't see
did this.
that.
This all happened very quickly. I honestly do not remember. What are the rules on mogging, Josh? Please remind us. With bits, if you can, I'd love a vocal description. So, bottom half guard, knee shield, and he sits back with the ankle on the knee shield, steps over, and I tap like right here. It's just,
Gotcha.
let's see if we catch the frame right before he lets it go. I mean, yeah, it was just like, it was belly down with an extra turn in it. It just sucked.
Mm.
Cole trying to peel the leg out here.
Looks like it is stuck in the scorpion lockdown.
Yeah. That may have been the leg exchange you saw with Steven. So right off the start, I sit into a Remy, get the heel exposure, but I just lose the knee line here.
Oh, okay.
He gets
We
he got
thought you.
he got a good roll out of it, and
Okay.
yeah, I need to tighten that up.
I don't know. Me and Pat were talking about something, and we were asking each other who got the tap. Maybe it was probably the one before that.
Dicing season has rules, got it. It's like you can be mogged, but you can't be diced. Or you could dice and mog, I believe it was something. I don't know. It's funnier when Josh says it because it's stupid and makes no sense. Josh, Knee, and Cooper in the spleen. Exactly what he was.
Make sure
afraid
it's covered. From mono, check that spleen.
Yep. I was thinking about rolling to like the truck position or whatever you want to call it, and Steven's like, you know what, I'm gonna just come up on that octopus guard.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't want that to happen.
He talked about. Yeah, he was talking to me about that too.
That was clever. I think I just had hip height like the whole time. Like he's not gonna get his hips higher than me, so.
Yeah, it's like that octopus guard. I mean, the resident expert is James, but the thing that I've noticed is it's that like it's the right elbow, both of your right elbows. It's whoever gets to the shoulder first. It's like whoever gets to the shoulder line first wins.
Yeah.
Because he's hugging the back here. You come up way higher into the shoulder.
Yeah.
And now
cross-face
you
him.
win the battle.
Yeah.
Yep. And you've got a hook in too, so you can come right around to take that back.
Yeah.
That was a really nice counter.
Yeah, that was fun. More fun in slow-mo.
You and Brandon,
Yep.
Josh and Steven. Josh, you've been diving in for those the double unders. Can you go back to that double under?
I think it works for him pretty well. When he gets it, it works really well.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
go ahead. What are your thoughts?
I was just gonna say, like, I mean, I don't know. You probably know, like, what I'm gonna say is I'd like to see it being done a little bit slower. I'm all about being explosive, but one thing that I try to do from here is I'm trying to get the knee to the nose. I'm not trying to throw the legs by. I don't want to like throw the legs by as quickly as possible, because the sooner you get rid of the legs, if they're far away from, well, hang on, let me see how I want to phrase this. Yeah, the earlier you free the legs of your partner there, the further away from their chest they are. So it's going to be way faster for them to recover. If you bring their knees all the way to their face, then they don't have as much room to recover their guard.
Mhm.
So this here, while right now it looks good, like, what I like to do is I like to have the knee into the nose and my shoulders on the face. Like, I'm literally just driving with every ounce. And then what happens is like they fold up, and then they have no choice but to like let them go.
Yeah.
And then once you feel them give up, that's when you can take your side control.
Yeah, my only thing to add to this is right here. You need to be pulling Steven's hips towards you. That facilitates what Mike is talking about. Like, stack him on his neck as best you can, as early as you can. Like, just kind of driving through and then cutting your angle, like Mike's saying. It's too loose. Hit your dive, get your hooks, and then pull him towards you. Like, you should I don't want to see you extended like this. Like, pull him in towards you and then execute the move from there.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'm also thinking, I'm thinking about this from like a strategy and tactic standpoint, right? Like, you obviously want to pass the guard. You know, that's your goal. But at the very least, having somebody try to fully extend their body, like extend their posterior chain in order to prevent you from doing what you're going to do. Number one, you have a tremendous amount of control just to be able to hold somebody in that position, and they're struggling the entire time to try and deadlift you off of them, right? That is like ridiculously strenuous for somebody to try and extend the body away for that length of time. So at the very least, even if you don't get the pass, you've just drained your partner of all of that energy, and so passing should be a little bit easier to set up the next go around.
Let's look at Pat and Chris over here. Pat gets, I guess this is off an arm drag. Okay, yeah. Simple arm drag. Catches Chris's hands in a good spot.
Does he get trip? Oh,
He actually doesn't do much with it. He picks him up, asserts his dominance, says, yeah, I could have put you on your neck, and then comes back to the front.
great arm drag though.
Yeah, really good. So what I tried to do when I tried to roll with Steven and he ended up trying to take my back, That's what I do with Brandon here. So I
Nice.
have my hook in, and I said, well, Steven didn't let me do it. Let's see if Brandon lets me. So I roll through, and I go in on a different leg attack, right? You don't always have to do heel hooks. Here we go on the calf slicer. And I'm doing a slightly dangerous variation. I think I put the heat on Brandon quickly enough that it was okay to try it like this. Let's see if I can explain why. So here, if Brandon, instead of going, trying to like grab my legs or his, if he instead tried to grab, if you reached between his ankles and grabbed my right arm, he has a counter armbar here. What takes that away is if my right arm was in front of this leg, rather than his leg being in front of my arm, relative to the screen right now. So that was a vulnerability here, but I think I put it on quickly enough that I didn't have to worry about it. But just another leg attack that isn't always the same old stuff. Now we got Chris behind Pat. How did he get there?
He goes front headlock.
Heavy on the head.
And then go behind.
Yeah. It's like Pat was defending the neck, and that opened up the move to the back. Standing guillotine on Brandon with the power grip. Didn't let me finish it. I think I finished it down here. Maybe not. Let's look at Josh and Steven. What happened here? Josh, I see you getting caught here too much, man. Like, just hips high, head low. Steven with an easy roll. What's your problem, Josh?
And Jordan, that's a similar position
Yep.
to where I was talking about before, except for you were crossbody and Josh was actually in a mount almost.
Josh does have very good escapes, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to keep his hips from shrimping away, creating space. There's those cakes. He's got one of those like wedding cakes. It's like many layers up. He's got like 3 tiers, but they put the big layer, the widest layer, on the top tier on his cake, and he gets that cake way up high, and it makes him so easy to topple over. Keep your cakes low, dude. Don't be caked up, cake down. Dude, next time Josh competes, I'm gonna yell that. I'll be like, cake down, cake down. Like, what kind of weird 10th planet school are these guys from? Steven right out the back. If I see Chris strangle Pat from the back, I'm gonna be super pissed.
Dude, no kidding.
Question everything I know about strangling from the back. What did I get? Oh, I think this is just mounted triangle territory with Brandon. Joe putting on the forward pressure with you.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon does a great job here again on getting his single leg. I talked about this with him after though. I think this is something like a lot of wrestling coaches yell at their guys for sometimes. I've heard it before where like you get a single leg and then you trade up the body for like a body lock grip essentially.
Oh,
and I don't think it's well. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think wrestlers like to do that. My reason is unless you have an unbreakable grip around the body, you're giving up a very good position. Like, I don't think Brandon's going to be able to hit a body fold on me, like taking my head back behind my feet. We're not exactly, like, we're just not in a good spot for it. So, and that's where that body lock grip around the waist can come in very useful. But here, coming out of a single leg, I don't see him being very successful with it. Instead, he had a really great position that he gave up a little too early. He had the single leg, and then he had this one hand behind my back, like around my waist. He had the tight waist grip. I don't know if we can get a good view of it before he makes that switch, but like right here, he's got one hand on my leg and the other hand is around my back. That's where he could turn to his left. If he pivots on his right foot, right, keep that foot planted, take a big step backwards with the left foot, and pull me with that tight waist grip, it's essentially like running the pipe variation. You're just not using your head and the chest quite as much to move them. You're using the pull of the hand backwards. So he had a great spot. I think he let it go a little too prematurely, and then once he did, it's not too difficult for me to square back up with him and go on the counterattack, which I do here.
Also,
Snap down.
I also like to go behind the knee, like when I'm because when you, like, if you would go for, because you're trying to hit the Uchimata / Haraigoshi if you can get on the outside, but if he can shelve the leg, your right leg, with his right knee, and like get fully behind you, then he could run the pipe super. Well, it wouldn't be running the pipe, I guess. It would just be kind of like a Tani Atoshi type of a thing, or it's actually, what it reminds me of is what Clay likes to do by hitting like almost like that lift and turn. Yeah. He would have the same type of leverage there to like hike up that knee and get you off the ground just enough to turn you down to the mat. Yeah, and I
let me be perfectly clear. Like, to Pat with his Uchimatas, to Brandon with these single leg finishes, I want you guys to send me flying with these takedowns. Like, I want highlight reel finishes, me being thrown by you guys. Like, that will make me very happy. You will be the thumbnail for the video, all that funny stuff, whatever. But like, these things are like right there. I really feel like you guys are on the cusp of like making good breakthroughs with your go-to moves. So just keep working at it. Like, it's these little tiny things that I think you guys will nail. What are these two doing? Let's see, Josh is on Steven's back.
Steven's so good at not, like, he denies me a full back mount, right? He's so good at blading his hips out and not letting me get that other hook in. It looks like he's doing the same thing to Josh here.
Yeah, Josh trying to attack the mandible strangle.
Your Mitchell move? What Mitchell move is this?
Oh, it's I'll go find it. Just real quick, Josh for this is interesting. Normally I would say this was kind of a bad idea. Like, you typically don't switch to arm bars on the top side arm, but you, like,
he goes bottom side first, like when Steven turns to that side.
Yeah, like he somehow, like, he gets his leg free. I guess Steven's not fully weighing it down at the right instant. Like right here, he can actually like move it. He's switching to the bottom side like mid move, so that gives us like the freedom to move. Yeah, I think you only, like, this didn't work because you lost control of that arm a little too early It's
That
hard
was
to tell.
slick though. That was
Yeah.
a nice transition. Way to catch it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I don't see a reason for you. I want to be careful with my words here. Like the right, I'm trying to think about how the right arm could come in to play more to have a 2-on-1 grip on that arm as you make the switch, but that might not be the right time for it. I mean, either way, good job on Steven too for escaping that. That was really, really good timing. The Mitchell move was what Mitchell did last week, I think, where fake stand and a shot, which I genuinely love it. Like I like the fake sit to a shot as well. But this is great. He's just like, nah, I'm down here. Steven falls for it, but turns out that was really nice.
That was nice.
Oh, there we go. What happened at the end with Brandon? Did I have him in something? Was this? Oh, that's right. I got to kind of a reverse Ashi, and he starts running interference, so I can't get the knee bar, so I switch to a toe hold, but I'm actually doing it. Oh no, I am doing it on the opposite leg. So there's we turn, setting up my grip on the foot. This is a good dilemma for this position. If you want the knee bar and they're denying it, you can attack that secondary leg with a toe hold. In order for them to get out of the toe hold, they'll normally straighten their leg. You could go back to the knee bar. You could try to finish the toe hold like I do here. Heard a little bit of celery cracking in his foot there before he tapped, so I didn't want to crank on it too hard. All right, me and Pat kick each other's shins for 5.5 minutes. Oh, Coop, you can't let Steven just get on your back like that. Cole right into an outside Ashi. Cole, I would try working from a Rimi instead. Don't go to an outside. Try to keep that top leg in a butterfly position for now.
Until you get them down on their hip.
Yeah.
Like they have to be down on their hip before you go into this. You do see a lot of people going into, and let me say this too, is that if you are going to go here, maybe for whatever reason they pass it over or something, then you need to get a straight ankle grip rather than hiking it up onto your shoulder.
Yeah.
Jordan has full back exposure potential here. So you have to be very careful of that.
Yeah, now he sprawls out of it and you're not in a great spot. Now you're in a better spot.
That's how Kanan beat Craig at the first time they faced each other.
Yeah. He's got you and Jason.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
There you go, Coop trying to put that cross-side grip to work. The only thing I would add to this, Cooper, well, one big thing I should say. I don't do this like rear naked choke thing like with the hand. I bring that hand all the way up to my ear if I can. I don't want it to be in a grabbing range, and then that makes it easier for you to point your elbow at your opponent's butt, which is just, it's a good little what's the word? Just a good mechanic to like get a little extra torque on the ankle. Yeah, Q. Body Q. Did we see Craig's last match? Oh, the one against was it I forget how to
The
pronounce that
MMA
gentleman's
guy.
name.
I
Yeah.
can't remember his name.
Mearshard, I think.
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah, he got spiked on his head there, but it's no worse
Yeah,
for the
he
wear.
almost. Yeah.
That's a big reason I don't like to take the back standing.
Yeah,
I don't like to
I
be
know what he
off
was
the
trying to
ground.
do. But yeah, that's the 4-point and jumping on the back is not something I would do.
I don't know if you guys saw all the back and forth with Craig Jones and Yuri Samoas over like the
A little
last few
bit.
days, but Yuri was throwing shade at his previous opponent. The guy clapped back. And he's like, "What's your MMA record, bud?" And Craig like posts the MMA record. Yuri's MMA record is 0-2,
Mhm.
and like Mearshart's record is like really good.
Yeah.
And then I think it was he looked up his BJJ Heroes stats,
Hmm.
and Samoa's has like 22 submissions, and the other guy has 27 submissions in MMA. And
Yeah.
it was just like, oh man, not the right guy to pick on.
Right. So Jason was doing a fantastic job here. We were I've been playing with the Octopus Guard, and I think we trained the night before this or the day before this on Sunday, and I was really trying to or he was frustrated with it, and I told him about basically being very diligent with his crossface and his so this would be his right arm in this case, and that shoulder pressure he was throwing on me was insane. So he definitely listened, and you'll see that I don't think I was able to clear that, so I couldn't get out and go around the back like you can with the Octopus Guard.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can't beat the crossface, that is not the move to try.
Yeah.
So yeah, Pat, little Uchimata attempt here, but you can see how high your head is relative to your hips, which is why that's, you know, he and I talked about this more after this round, but that's what I was referring to when we were talking about it last week or something. But just remember, as you work on that, you know, bringing your head down with it, my body has to, like, my head and shoulders need to go down with you 1-to-1. That's where that overhook grip that you like is going to come in very handy. I would not want to be where you are with Jason right now.
Yeah, that was a fun spot to be. He didn't go for my back, and he obviously goes straight into diving for the arm. It was tight, but you can see that I've got my figure 4. I like defending the armbar with this, so my arm that's in trouble is now attached to my bicep, so my right bicep, and from here I'm putting pressure on the hamstring to clear the cross-facing leg across my face, and then I can come around, and this exemplifies what I wanted to see, Josh, from you on the pressure pass, like the double unders pass. You'll see that I've got I've got similar gripping to what you had, and I literally take Jason's knee straight to his face. Like it looks mean, it is mean, and he does not want it to be there anymore. So he's immediately going to start trying to sprawl his legs out, and it's going to go right over my head. So then I oblige by just moving my head out of the way, and then I settle down into a side control, and then go to north-south.
Jordan's on a nice attack here on Cole.
That is Cole's turn. Pretty good though. Yeah, very nice.
That was Cole. How scary was this pull with your right arm? I guess pulling's not your concern. It's more pushing.
It was the pec, but it was also attached to the bicep. Well, yeah. So I don't know.
I just pulled him with his rear delts, really.
Yeah.
I just want to see how Jordan got here. So looks like he was in mount there for a minute. Long time. So, okay, smashes Cole's legs together, brings the knees together, and then slowly works forward. It looks like he beats the ankle with his knee. And yeah, basically pummels into place.
Mm-hmm.
And then is there for a hot minute attacking. This is really good job, Jordan. I love how much you're focusing on keeping Cole's elbow above his shoulder line. You're putting a lot of focus on that. That's what I want to see you guys doing when you're attacking in mount. And again, like that, all the smothering stuff you guys love to do, you know, that's the one of the main reasons you do it is to try to get these defensive reactions that bring the arms, you know, the elbows up above the shoulder line. Yeah, you can get the tap and all that with the smother, but if you're not getting it, you guys need to be looking for these opportunities. So Jordan just also using the this is another thing I love. You guys know I kind of rail against the Americana as a move that doesn't really work much beyond, you know, an experienced white belt. They're going to defend it well. Doesn't mean you don't do them. It just means you use them for the right purpose, and that is to either get a reaction where if you're on mount, they turn to defend it, you get their back exposed and take the back, or you can use it to establish an underhook. You say, all right, yeah, I'm not going to get this Americana, but your elbow's wide open from your ribs. I'm going to sneak my hand in and set up my underhook. And then you can keep that arm isolated the way Jordan's doing in this round, and eventually make your way. See the switch here. Kind of hard to see from this angle. Yeah, right there, I think Cole brings his elbow across. Jordan says, thank you very much. Now he's on the attack. And really good job from Cole disrupting this. Like, I'm sure Jordan was probably a little disheartened. I know I would be. Jordan looked like he was asking if he was okay. And cool, all right, he loses it, goes right back to mount, keeps the arm isolated. Love it. Felt safe defending there, just had enough of a frame. Got you. I mean, that was really, really great defense. Like, killer offense from him. I'm really stoked to see him putting the techniques together to get there. And then, yeah, you not just leg on your back and trying to pull your arm down, actually turning towards it and all that stuff. It's tough to do. Tough for me to do, at least. How did Pat and I end up on the ground? I forgot. Oh, I shoot a low single. That sucked. I pulled that leg out from underneath him too, right there, and I just couldn't. I think if the wall wasn't there, I may have been able to circle around to a more advantageous position, but it's all good. Got to fight against the wall sometimes.
It'd be like that.
It do be like that. So you stacking, passing.
Yeah, I get it. I try to go, then Jason starts talking mad smack, and we got a lot of fun. I got distracted. Ran out of time.
Yep. Josh and I have a boring stand-up match for like the first minute, I think. Jordan? Did I say Jordan? I meant Josh. And Jordan over there with Steven. Making fun of Josh's shot. Hold on, we gotta look at his shot. He's like bear crawls towards me while he takes a shot from 10 feet away. So I'm like, no shot, bro. This is you. This is you. It is. It's just muscle memory. That's all you're working on.
Oh, this was a fun match to watch.
Oh yeah.
Caleb and Jordan.
Caleb and Josh have a good match after this too, I think. It's either after this or the one following that. Good takedown from Josh, despite me making fun of him. So, snap. Again.
Our leg grab too. Jeez.
Yeah, and like my only criticism here, kind of shooting from far, like a little bit of space here. That probably just makes me look worse. It's not really a dig at him. But head outside, not too phased. He brings his head inside, and I love this finish here. It's a big level. Whatever. I love that he went treetop with it, pulls the leg up, and really lifts me up and puts me down that way. That made me happy because I taught it a couple weeks ago. And actually, speaking of level changes, Joshua, something that I think we could pull away from your two shots here. Something I talked about this with Brandon. Let's critique you on it. I think jiu-jitsu guys a little too much hinge at the hips rather than changing levels by bending at the knees or putting the knees to the mat. So that's where when you take a shot and you're like, man, he sprawled on me. It was, it sucked. I had to wear all his weight. That's typically where that comes from. It's because you're hinging too much at your hips on your level change. So something to work on some of these shots. I know I talked about it with Brandon. It's level changing correctly, not hinging at your hips, but doing so at your knees. And I'm utterly guilty of it too, just because I haven't been wrestling since I was 5, so it's hard to work it in all the time. Caleb really wanted this throw, didn't he? Oh man,
Yes, he did.
it kind of bums me out it didn't work. Like right here, foot to the outside, like good placement.
Yeah, but Jordan was just ready.
Yeah,
Like, look at how he collapsed his leg. So that's a great counter to this, is the way that he just drops his knee down to the mat, right? He doesn't try to keep himself up and planted with that left or that right foot. If he did, then he was going to get turned. So he just drops the knee down to the mat, and he does use his hand in order to post, which I would not advise.
Super safe. Do that all the time, especially with Caleb. God.
But
yeah.
Caleb
gets a good turn on this too. Like he's not falling flat to his back. He might be able to get a bigger turn out of it. Maybe that would have helped. But yeah, Jordan's knee ending up on the outside here, pulls it up as he starts to get taken over. Now Caleb's like,
yeah, and he's able to base. He only took one post away, right? And he's trying to make a turn about the spine. He needs to take both posts away, the arm and the leg.
So Josh, just bringing your leg a little too close to my reach. As soon as I could get it out from underneath you, I can try to hit a sweep. Good countering with that guillotine. Looked like my head was about to pop.
Jordan's doing a really good job of trying to keep Caleb covered up here. And what I really liked about watching this match was that you could see that Jordan was very worried about this underhook. And you can see him shifting his weight to cover up the elbow as much as possible, right? So he's doing the right thing here. He is trying to go for the guillotine, but I felt like that was more of a, I know the head's there, I don't know what to do with it. More so than using it very effectively. And you can tell that when Caleb, like this was Caleb's time to get out.
Yeah.
Caleb's arm is low here. I feel like if Jordan was using that whizzer a little bit more effectively, not as much going for the head, I felt like he could have taken advantage of the positioning a little bit better. But Caleb recognized that he wasn't comfortable and then came up for a really nice knee tap to turn the tide on this match.
Yeah.
Wasting no time to get into mount. I know he did not want to be on bottom anymore.
No. Beats the knee, settles in.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Josh put me in a very bad, very dangerous spot. He knows I'm trying to keep that arm nice and low, and as soon as I slip it out, he knew he lost it.
Yep.
Right here, he goes, He dismounts and tries to stay up on top. I've really been enjoying kneeling on your guys' heads in that like turtle position. I can't remember if I guess I got the best of the scramble for now. Like right there. It's like I go out of my way to just be a little extra mean by kneeling on the back of your head as I make my pass around.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Caleb hits a Makikomi in order to get out of the turtle position. So I don't know exactly how. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Jordan pushes his way out, which was very, very dangerous. But
Yeah.
you can see that he's pushing. So we tell you this all the time, right? Like, you know, there's there are the big no-nos that we tell you, especially like pushing on the chest and stuff. But at times it's like, you know, some of the things that we tell you not to do, sometimes they work, right? So that one actually works. And let's talk about why. Why couldn't Caleb really switch to the armbar? It's because Jordan was on Caleb's left leg for a really long time, right? So this prevented Caleb from really turning the corner and taking advantage of the push on the chest.
Yeah.
There is an instance though that you can see right at the end of this turn to where when Jordan needs to plant and get his hips up, that now Caleb is free to turn. So that means that Jordan's arm is in full danger mode here, right there.
Yeah.
And Caleb sees it. He tries to go on the attack, but Jordan was just a little too quick.
That was nice.
So, yeah, it was really a good exchange. I would not recommend that escape that Jordan did. It did work out for him.
Until that.
But then, the Makikomi. So that was a Makikomi roll from Caleb. Puts him right back into a strong passing position. I don't enjoy being on bottom when he's doing this, but I do really like that Caleb is letting you wear his weight on the legs. Like he's riding you out. He's letting you cook in that position, just kind of shifting slightly from side to side, making it just miserable enough to where eventually your legs are going to gas out or your core is going to gas out, and then he's able to score the pass. He gets the smother tap.
Ooh, Steven had a nice leg entrance over there. So watch. He pops Jordan up. And then rides right up into an Arimiyashi and cuts all the way around. A quick little 180. Right now his head's underneath him. Just a few frames later, he's behind him. Gets Jordan's center line, or I'm sorry, his knee line, or his knee within his knee line. It's nice. Very nice.
Yeah, that was excellent. In Jordan, when trying to pass, you know, I'm assuming that you were thinking that you were in a half guard of sorts. It didn't look like a full butterfly at least from this angle. Maybe it was. But in the half guard, if somebody's playing the butterfly half, pressuring into them is not the route that's gonna get them to break down that knee shield, right? You normally have to, you know, back off a little bit, try and pin the knees together, and you know, keep your weight back towards your heels, because rushing into them, they can elevate you pretty effectively.
Yeah. I don't know, this slobber knocker of a match. I think you both were quite tired. What happened there?
You got popped in the eye.
Dirty, dude. Dirty. You guys get tired and you start eye gouging each other. Let's take it forward a little bit. You guys look tired, and you're the only round right now, so. Ooh.
Ooh. The first of 5 times.
Oops. So let's set up again. Oh, did I go too far or not far enough? Yeah, hold on.
There's gonna be one more match after this, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
There it is. So with the overhook,
Good head position by Caleb here.
yeah, Caleb is absolutely winning head position. This is
That was really nice.
excellent timing. The feet
Yeah.
are nice and close together. Josh is stepping forward like this. This is where those trips are made. I'm very surprised Josh didn't go down with this one.
I'm not. His step. He can step over these very, very, very well.
Yes, he totally can. I'm like, just the way his feet are as close together as they are normally will like heighten the percentage of that being
Yeah.
effective. I mean, he does go down. He's able to scramble back up, but that was nice. I love seeing Caleb foot sweep just because I know I used to foot sweep him all the time,
Yeah.
and he hated me for it. So it's nice to see him repaying everybody.
Oof.
Just bump it into each other. There we go. Ooh, this is
Oh, that's right. I remember this.
dangerous.
Or I mean, I remember hearing about it.
Playing real close here. This was where I was surprised that Caleb didn't get this takedown as well. And this is Caleb. If you watch this later, this is what I was talking about with that outside trip, and then sagging your weight forward, almost like doing a lunge, like lunging the knee down towards the mat. A la, I think Bertram likes to do that. I think you could have gotten that takedown. And then just felt like double overhook lateral dropped him. Slips out, and Josh takes advantage.
Way to get to that go behind. Like, look at like automatic that go behind was. Like immediately he shoots right in, snatches the head, and then boom.
And this is, yeah, that's true. And this is a good example of, so you hear us talking about blocking the hand, or I'm sorry, blocking the arm when you go behind. And you might think Josh doesn't do it here.
Watch his knee though.
He
Yeah.
uses his leg instead of his hand. So
Yeah.
right there, he doesn't fully commit to just flying around him. He blocks him with the knee, then switches his hands and can come around the side. Like, perfectly viable technique. Even if you didn't mean to do it, Josh, I don't know if that's something that was purposeful or not. You can block with the hand, you can block with the knee, you can block with your head. But taking that little stutter in that move around the back is a very safe way to do that. Josh does not want Caleb on top right now.
Oof, oof. Yeah. Good transitions.
Yeah.
Caleb's doing all he can to try and maintain a good inside position with his hands, his arms, his frames.
This is so great. Josh just flying all around him to keep him from getting on the top
stay
position.
on your back. Stay on your back.
Every time Caleb turns towards Josh is already gone.
Caleb's like, I will stand up.
Yeah, I'm surprised Josh let him up there. I do not let Caleb stand back up if I get him down.
No, I'm staying on top.
Yeah.
Two minutes left. Oof.
Another foot sweep attempt. Cole and I have volunteered to coach both of them. I take Caleb. Cole takes Josh. There's just a special moment when you're exhausted in a round like this, where like you know you're gonna finish this round out, so you're like, all right, this is gonna suck, and you just like there was a moment there like both of them had it. It was after a big sigh. Like watch Caleb, like right here, he's just like just still walking forward. Josh is like, damn it, there's still over a minute.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
If I die, I die.
I'm just gonna dig in and get through this.
Yep. Caleb is making it more and more difficult for you to get hooks in right off the bat.
Yeah.
In exactly doing this so that he can either catch your leg and go into a deep half guard, or get into a good half guard position. Oh, I like what you were trying to set up there, Josh. Trying to dig under that in that underhook right there.
So great.
Beautiful. That was a really nice single leg.
I felt like I was cracking the whip on Caleb at this point. Like we're in like the last leg of the Iditarod, and he's just tired, and he's the husky. I'm just like, get the leg. I was hollering at him real good. But yeah, he drives forward, picks the ankle. It ends the round with a sweep or a takedown at that point.
Yeah, that was good.
So I think Cole and I finish this out. Cole and I had a really good round like a week or two ago. And when I say we had a really good round, I mean I held him down and just tried to smother him relentlessly, and I felt good about it. I don't think Cole felt good about it. And then I think we lost that footage. So I was really bummed about it. So I tried to recreate it as best I could here, but Cole wasn't letting me. So Josh, contrast how, so keep in mind here, I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm significantly lighter than you. I know we're both extremely muscular looking, but contrast my body position to yours with some of what we saw, and how I'm keeping my head. Let me think about this. I'm not taking my hips up too high above my head.
If you're diced, you're cut, black scissors, and if you're mugged, you're putting on weight, flexed biceps, but you can be both, which is dog, and that means you're absolutely diced, dice, to the bone, and you can also
God, I need to make sure that that doesn't cut you off anymore, because that was beautiful. Anyway, back to my original point.
I came off of mute on Twitch just so I could hear that.
Blake's like, what the hell is going on? There's not an easy answer to that question, Blake. To my original point, Josh, we were dogging on you for getting your hips up really high, and that's what's leading you to this, you know, being rolled in these positions. Your hips are way higher than your head, and with me being significantly lighter, it should be pretty easy for that to happen to me too. But notice I think the big difference here is I'm not bringing my hips up super high in positions where I'm driving forward, like all the way north of Cole's shoulder line. I'm putting pressure forward. My hips come up when they need to come up, like if I'm trying to fight my legs free from his legs. But my head is, you know, my head's on the mat when it needs to be. My hips are high when they need to be, but it isn't a part of my forward pressure, if that makes sense. Trying to simplify that the best I can, but I think everybody would agree that it shouldn't be very difficult for Cole to roll me the same way we saw him rolling Josh earlier. I think Josh got caught by Steven as well. So body position and hip versus head height is a really big part of this. So I went, yeah, I remember now. I go for a really good mounted triangle on Cole, or a good triangle. I think it may start mounted, but let's see.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so that's the danger of this arm configuration, right? Cole has this underhook, but now he reaches out and puts himself in this one arm in, one arm out position. So now I'm in a trap triangle. I need to cut my angle. Grabbing my shin, and now it's on to the hardest part, which is fighting against Cole's left arm to try to cut my angle. He brings it out of that hidden, you know, hiding it behind my back though, so that makes it a little bit easier. And I'm trying to assist myself by hooking on that leg. I felt really good about this. It was super tight. And he just kept driving his left shoulder deeper into it, making it less and less effective. And there he breaks the legs open. Big heavy pass around the side. And now I'm in some trouble with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, that's always good to see on the clock.
If I see you doing it, Josh, I'll try to point it out without like alerting your opponent to flip you. But it's a feel thing. It's, you know, it's your base, it's your balance. It's gonna take practice. So now Cole's made his way all the way to mount, putting on some. It may be, but like Cole, Joe, Steven, they're gonna be the ones pulling that off. But it's also just, it's a vulnerability. Like, regardless of who it happens with, that just means that like I might not do it with you, but it doesn't mean that you're not leaving yourself vulnerable. So it's a good wrinkle to iron out now, ahead of any other, you know, competing, if you want to do that or whatever else. So I've managed to capture the leg here, and I'm using the lockdown just to try to give myself a little bit of relief. I'm not going to move Cole too much with this. It's maybe now I could, since his hips are over mine, but generally I don't get too much movement with the the lockdown. I normally only rely on it when I need to like get shoulder pressure off of me. Coming down low to the leg though.
We're gonna go in a deep half.
Yeah, and Cole, like, he has this this overhook on it on my arm, which was making it really impossible for me to like do anything well here. Like this arm is screwing me up. So one last minute little attempt to like roll through this sweep. Right here, he's like pushing forward. His head's on the ground. His hips are high. I'm gonna try to roll him this way, but it's just a little too close to the end of the round. Don't end up getting it. Anyway.
Nice.
Yeah, good stuff, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the dicing and mogging redefinition. Always need to hear that at least like once a month. Apparently Blake does too. Blake's unfamiliar, so we're gonna have to keep her.
I learned something. So
yeah. If you learn nothing else, you learned that you can be diced and mogged. Yeah, I'll do my best. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And thanks for the resubs, James and Jordan. Appreciate you guys. Let's see if you're following and you like or if you're lurking in the chat and you like what you're seeing, please give us a follow. Subscribe if you can. You can use your Twitch Prime. Costs nothing to you. Helps us out a lot. They call it, when you're diced and mogged, you're dogged. Got it. Okay. See, I'm still learning. Yeah, appreciate you, bruh. Appreciate it if you guys also subscribe over on YouTube. See you, Blake. And yeah, follow us there for rewatching the stream in perpetuity or Meist. I don't like Meist. If Meist is mogged and diced, but dogged is diced and mogged, is that? It's fine, Blake. You've bought us plenty of bits, so that's support enough.
Yeah, all good. Thank you.
We appreciate any of it. You can't be dogged and Meist. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. There were rules to this that I just don't know. You're the authority. Blake, I hope you're writing all this down. Anyway, onward. We've got another week and a half of leg attacking to do. So I hope you guys are attending class, taking all you can from that. And yeah, bring any questions you have to class. If you guys, we talked about it last stream, if you're interested in that little intra-school competition we were talking about doing, the quintet matches, please respond to Luke's email or just tell him in person, let him know you're interested, and we're going to start figuring that out as soon as we get enough people signed up for it or down for it. So yeah, anything else, man? Nothing.
I don't think so.
Chilling. All right.
Business as usual.
Yeah, back at it. So get back to class for leg attacks. And before you do, go trim your nails and do your laundry. And don't be stinky. And we will see you there. Later.
Later.